Welcome back, learners. So now we are moving on to our second part of the set of questions, which are the application questions. They are still based on the acid-base reactions. So let's start and see what that has for us. So I told that for each of the following reactions, we need to complete the tables by providing the missing equations and balance the equation if it's not balanced. So we're given this table, and we are told that there is a reaction between hydrochloric acid and magnesium oxide. So with that in mind, we are supposed to write the Wade equation for that particular reaction. So this is our hydrochloric acid plus magnesium oxide plus magnesium This is going to react to form, so I'm just going to write the products here below because of space. So this is going to react to form magnesium chloride and H2O. Remember, acid plus base reacts to form salt and water. So our salt is going to be our magnesium chloride. Plus water. So these are our reactants and these are our products. So hydrochloric acid plus magnesium oxide will react to form magnesium chloride plus water. So that's our Wade equation. So taking that Wade equation and now transforming it and making it a chemical equation, we do know that hydrochloric acid has a chemical symbol or a chemical formula of HCl. Capital letter H, capital letter C, and small letter L. So it's HCl plus MgO. Capital letter M, small letter G, and capital letter O. So that is going to react to form magnesium chloride, which is going to be capital letter M, small letter G, capital letter C, small letter L, 2, plus H2O. Now, we were also asked that we need to balance the equation if the equation is not balanced. How do we check? By counting the number of atoms on either side, on the left-hand side and also on the right-hand side. Should they be equal, then the equation is balanced. So, we have one hydrogen here, but two hydrogens on the other side. We have one chlorine, two chlorines there. One magnesium, one oxygen and one oxygen. So therefore the magnesium and oxygen, they are balanced, but the chlorine and the hydrogen, they are not balanced. What do we do then to add or to balance the equation? I can add another compound of HCl and add another compound of HCl on the left hand side, and by so doing, this is going to give me 2HCl, which then means that this 2 goes for everything in this compound. So that is now we have 2 hydrogens and 2 chlorines. So 2 hydrogens on the left-hand side, 2 hydrogens on the right-hand side. 2 chlorines on the left-hand side, we have 2 chlorines on the right-hand side. And remember we said that our magnesium and oxygen were balanced. We still have 1 magnesium on the left-hand side, 1 magnesium on the right-hand side, 1 oxygen on the left-hand side, and 1 oxygen on the right-hand side. So by doing that, by just adding another compound of HCl to the reactants, I have now balanced my chemical equation. So the general equation for this particular reaction is that I've added an acid with a metal oxide to form salt and water. So our metal oxide is MgO. Mg is our metal, oxygen is our oxide. Next question. We are asked again the very same thing, but then of a different equation and a different table. We need to now complete by providing the missing equations between hydrochloric acid and now sodium hydroxide. So we have hydrochloric acid plus sodium hydroxide Now again, I'm going to write the products here at the bottom. So plus sodium hydroxide. So when these two things react together, there must be salt and water that is being formed. So my salt is going to be a sodium chloride. Why? Because the first part comes from the base and the second part comes from the acid. So it's going to be my sodium chloride plus water, which is my H2O. So in terms of a chemical equation for this particular reaction, I have HCl being my hydrochloric acid plus sodium hydroxide being my NaOH. This is going to react to form sodium chloride, which is going to be NaCl plus H2O. Then again, we need to balance the equation if the equation is not balanced. So for us to check, we need to see one hydrogen on the left. So it's one hydrogen and another hydrogen on the left-hand side. So there's 2 on the left, and then there's also 2 on the right. Chlorine, there's 1 chlorine here, and then 1 chlorine on the other side. So 1, 1, balanced. Sodium, there's 1 sodium on the left, 1 sodium on the right-hand side, balanced. Oxygen, there's 1 oxygen on the left-hand side and 1 oxygen on the right-hand side. So all those particular elements of this particular reaction, they are balanced. So the reaction is balanced. Now, our general equation, what did we add? We added an acid plus, and then this is our metal, our sodium is our metal, so we added a metal hydroxide, and then this reacted to form salt and water. So this is our salt and water which was formed from that reaction. Right, next one. Here, same table but then different reaction. However, on this one here, we are given a chemical equation. So what we need to now do is to just write the word equation and then give the general equation of this particular reaction here. So, and also you need to balance if the equation is not balanced. We're going to end with that one here. So word equation, we have hydrochloric acid plus calcium oxide. So we have hydrochloric acid plus calcium they will react to form. So because of space, I'm also going to write them at the bottom here. They're going to react to form calcium chloride and water. Remember, the name of the salt, the first part comes from the acid being comes from the base being the calcium, and then the second part comes from the acid, the chlorine, which is our chloride, the calcium chloride. And then our chemical equation, we have there that we have 2 compounds of HCl plus 2 compounds of HCl, 1 compound of our calcium oxide reacting to form calcium chloride plus H2O. So the 2 here was used to balance the equation. So that means these 2 goes for everything in this compound here. We have 2 hydrogens and 2 chlorines. And then here we have 1 calcium and 1 oxygen. Then now let's see if the equation is balanced. 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens. 2 chlorines, 2 chlorine there. 1 calcium, 1 calcium. 1 oxygen, 1 oxygen. So the number of atoms on the left-hand side are equal to the number of atoms on the right-hand side. And because of that, this equation is balanced. So now, our general equation for this particular reaction is as follows. We have an acid plus, remember that we have a calcium oxide. Our calcium is our metal. So we have a metal oxide Metal, it's our Ca, our oxide is O, and then those two things reacted together to form salt and water. Those two things reacted together to form salt and water. Right, so before we move on to our next part, let's just quickly go for an ad break, and I will see you just after this.